Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Lori. This is Ask Dr. Lori Live. Welcome. Nice to see all of you. Everything's unscripted. I don't know what's coming. My guests are from all over the world. I'm happy to have them with me. I had a fun class last night. If you missed it, it was so much fun. I had great folks in the class. We had a good time talking about art, antiques, and collectibles. And of course, you can join me at another class coming up. You can check that out at drloriv.com. So let's see who we've got and what they've got. They're going to hold up their objects nice and clear, horizontal for the devices, so we can make sure that we can see everything and that everybody watching can see everything. And those of you who are watching, please weigh in on the question of the day, and don't forget to tell me, where are you watching from? It's great to see all of you. Well, so I'm looking at something that kind of looks like a duck, looks like a swan, looks like a duck, might be a swan, might be a duck, and then maybe a teapot. Pretty interesting shape. I like the shape of the teapot. Looks like we've got a bracelet. It might be a long bracelet. Long hair, long bracelet. That's what it looks like. Oh, hey, it's Deb. Hi, Deb from Ohio. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Is this bracelet marked?
Schreiner.
Oh, it's Schreiner and it's marked. Okay, that's nice. And then I've got a, let's see, then I've got some no, maybe they're more like Puerto Rican or Cuban dancers. They could be of Spanish origin. So more ballet dancers. So they're more actually French origin. That's a nice piece too. A lot of reflection. I'm seeing more of your laptop than I am really of the work of art, but you'll get that figured out. And then we've got this swan, which might be a planter or a candy dish bowl. How big is that?
It's about 7 inches long and about 6 inches tall. And I don't think it's a planter because it doesn't have any holes in it. I love this.
That doesn't always matter. They don't really care about the plant being, growing. They basically just throw the plant in another planter bowl in it, kind of thing. But that's a nice piece. I probably would agree with you that you would use it more for a candy bowl or a bowl of some sort, or decoration. Is there a mark on the bottom of it?
Yes, it's under the glaze and it's in Chinese, and it just means, I looked it up. I did find it after a long time.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
From the dynasty of Qianlong Nianji. So it's probably from 1960.
So it's a 6-character mark, Queen.
Yes, Long. And it's 3 across and 3 underneath.
Let me finish the sentence and then I'll let you speak.
Okay.
It's a 6-character mark.
Yes.
Under the glaze is significant for it. And then what were you going to say, hon?
I said, and it's horizontal instead of vertical. It's funny because
what does that tell you?
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Well, it was the only one that said 1960.
What does that tell you?
That it's mid-century modern like me. I was born in 1960.
Okay. All right. You don't know what that tells you. I'll deal with that one directly.
I don't know.
I'll deal with that one directly. Let's go to the Schreiner. Let's talk about that one first. And then the rest of you don't go, I'm going to switch. Dr. Lori doesn't like this. Just hold the phone. Let me talk about Schreiner and this nice bracelet, and then we'll get back to it. Deb, Ohio, how'd you acquire the Schreiner?
Goodwill blue box.
Oh, goodness. So people who don't know what Schreiner is, of course, very well-known mid-20th century to late 20th century costume jewelry design firm. Very good pieces. We've featured them on my videos many times before. Lovely brooches, nice earrings, great bracelets. So blue box. The blue box is $39, $49, something like that, right?
Yeah, it was like, I think it was the $49 after I put the price up. So yeah.
Nice. That's a nice piece. So is it marked right on the clasp, or is it marked on the underside of one of the links?
It's on the underside in the middle on one of the links.
Okay, so that's different with respect to the position of the mark will tell you something too. And if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, sign up for it. Lots of good information about what you need to know, how to tell, how to resell, what to buy, what are the better sites for reselling this or sourcing that kind of thing. So that looks pretty nice. Can I see the other side? I like the diversity of stones. I like the crystals, which are very, very sparkly, and I'll show you. Okay, so we can see that in one of the links. Also, you'll notice that Schreiner tends to use wells, little wells that they put the actual crystals in. The crystals are pretty nice. Deb, do me a favor and move it a little bit. Thank you for having a nice, clean, plain background. That helps us. And also what helps is, of course, light. So Deb's got it all going on here in her powder room. In her house, she picked a good room for it.
Best place to be.
Best place for light. And can I see the front? Just show me the front. And then I want you to do that same little move. And I want you all to look at the sparkles. See them all? Particularly the central elements, very large. Even in the well, they still sparkle. This is a really nice piece. For $49 with all of the other pieces that you got in the $49 Goodwill blue box costume jewelry, that piece easily $275. Beautiful. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Are you going to resell it or are you going to hang on to it for yourself?
I'm going to resell this one. I decided to keep the Dior.
Okay, well, hey, you deserve Dior.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see you. You know, this does remind me of course, one of the folks who found a Sputnik piece. It was a beautiful Sputnik piece in a blue box. And that one was worth almost $1,000, a little bit more than $1,000 actually. That was featured right here. But that was fine jewelry. This is costume jewelry. We've seen a lot of costume jewelry do pretty well. And one of the ways, if you don't, of course, if you don't have some of the tools with you, hopefully you get the loop. Hopefully you will look at the specials and shop page of my recommended products. Yes, I get compensation when you purchase one of those, but having some of the tools around you is very helpful, like the loop, right? To recognize the small marks, right? The small maker's marks. I also give you a list at drloriv.com of many of the most prominent maker's marks and the marks that you need to know so you can identify value. The other trick I want to remind you of, your measuring tape, right? Your elbow goes down, right, like this. And I want you to measure your arm because you know what? Your arm's always with you when you're thrifting, when you're at the yard sale, at the flea market. I'm 16 inches on the money from the table, flat on a table, to the tip of your finger. That will help you if you have to, of course, do some measurements quickly. So get that number, get that inch number or that centimeter number in your mind. So I love having all of you watch. I want to know where you're watching from. But before you go, Deb, did I lose Deb?
No,
Okay,
you're still here.
Sweetheart, I've got a question of the day for you. Old school toys and games. Are you ready? Twister or the Operation game. Do you remember the Operation game with the tweezers?
I have an Operation game in my garage where he's smoking. So Operation.
So Operation, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I can't do the twisty stuff. I'll break.
Yeah, I'll break. Oh, sweetheart. Well, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. They're both related to bodies. I liked that question. It was a good question, of course. But anyway, I was lousy at Operation. I would hit the sides. You get the funny bone, and I'd hit the sides. It was hard. But I want to know what you think. Answer the question of the day for me. I want to know what you think. Or tell me your favorite old school vintage game. I want to hear that too. Yeah, guests from all over are here. Let's see what they've got. We've got some cool stuff already right out of the chute. So plain backgrounds, good connections. If you don't have a good connection, I got to throw you out. So get that connection good. And if people are using multiple connections at your house, that's not going to work because you're using, of course, multiple connections. It's always a good idea to turn off the second or third devices that are using the same Wi-Fi. So we've got a large charger plate. We've got something that I can't really see. It looks like it's somewhat long and thin. It's got a white piece of paper behind it, but I'm not seeing it very well. I think the connection is a little bit spotty. So maybe that person can work on the connection and we'll go from there. I've got what looks like a color lithograph print, nicely framed. One of the things about the framed piece, when you see those colors, those mauve colors, when you see bright colored frames or muted colored frames or mattes, or if you see double or triple mattes, usually that says, "Oh, I'm from the 80s. Oh, I'm from the 80s." You know, they did a lot of that matting in frame shops at that particular time. Yeah, somebody loved Twister. I was not that good at Twister. I used to take on the role of I'll be the spinner, even when I was a kid and thin. I was not crazy about Twister. I didn't like being kind of intertwined, and I wasn't great about that. But anyway, that's my whole thing. And did you hear? You know what really surprised me this week that made me feel like I was very much old school vintage? One of my very favorite songwriters, Carole King, turned 80. Couldn't believe it. She looks great, but 80, I couldn't believe it. So anyway, Tapestry, some of you might remember that. So we put some of those. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this teapot. And the rest of you, don't go too far. Let's see what this teapot looks like. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Is this Crystal from New Zealand?
Yes.
Hey, Crystal, how are things? How are things?
They're good. I had so much fun at that class yesterday.
So you had fun at class? My classes are fun. You guys were fun. We had a great time.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I talked a long time. What'd you say?
Oh, I just said I found this at an op shop. Like
op shop, our opportunity shops for those of you who are not down under, right?
Yeah.
Opportunity shops are like thrift or charity shops. And of course, you've got a 6-character mark there too. You also have decoration on the bottom of it. And that mark is actually in the glaze too. I like that piece. I like the actual shape of the teapot. So it's rather small. Can I see the teapot from the side? I know you all want to show me the mark. I want to see the object, because if you guys can identify the quality of the object, the mark is going to be icing on the cake. If you keep using the marks as a crutch, you're never going to really learn what's good. You're only going to be looking for marks everywhere, and that's harder. I like also the very small lid, right, with its finial, which is multi-shaped. I like that. And you'll notice that it has a kick at the bottom of the handle. Do you see that little area at the bottom of the handle? Little kick area. I like that too. So what do you know about your teapot?
I tried looking at the marks, and I think I found it one time, but I totally forgot. But other than that, I even went on Reddit and tried to get people.
And what happened there? So you will take information from any general person. You don't know what they know. You don't know what they don't know. You're just like, if anybody can help me, right?
No, if they could just give me enough to go on in my own research, but I found nothing. It was just, yeah.
So if there's somebody out there who just says, I'm going to give you some information, whether it's right or wrong, and then you're going to go off, you're going to be.
I'll make sure. No, that's why I watch you and I listen to you.
I know. I'm not saying that, I have every single answer to every single problem. I'm just saying, I want you to be aware of sources, because, a lot of you are asking questions of people who know as much as you do or less. Some of you know more than the people you're asking. and people go,
maybe they
know
from the culture or something, but nothing.
Well, now someone who, of course, who is able to read these particular characters, that might be more helpful, right? So maybe that's one of the things. But there's lots of places that you can look. I'm sorry, Crystal. What did you say?
Oh, I said I went to the translation.
Yeah, that's hard. That doesn't work. That rarely works well, especially for those.
Yeah, I know. I found out
it does. Rarely works well. So your piece dates to the latter part of the 19th century. Your piece is late 19th, early 20th century. It's nicely done. Did you just get one piece? Was it about $5 US at the op shop?
New Zealand. So it would have been about $5 something. About
$5, yeah. So value on your piece is going to be about $65. It's a nice piece. I like shape. Yeah. Based on actual sales records where similar pieces have sold. Obviously, of course, it is clearly marked, which is great. But I really think that the way that piece is going to sell is for the uniqueness of the form, not so much for the mark. Question of the day is operation or twister?
I can't do twister anymore, so operation.
But did you like twister as a kid?
Yeah, I did. But if I'm talking about nowadays.
Okay. And then, what's also funny about nowadays is how expensive certain things really are. We're talking about ceramic pieces, and recently a celery dish from the president's collection from of course, Lincoln's collection sold recently for almost $100,000. So people are saying, oh, nobody wants China anymore. Nobody wants any kind of dinnerware. Nobody wants services for anything, and those are usually the people who are trolls who are trying to get you to sell something to them really cheaply. So, almost $100,000 with the auction premium, with the buyer's premium is a lot of money, even for a presidential plate. It was a celery dish. So that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing for on the auction front today. It was really funny because after, of course, the class, I decided, well, it might be time for me to take a look and see what's going on around the office, because we have trash pickup. You all have trash pickup around the office and the studios. And I went out and all the trash was still there. So I think a lot of people are kind of busy this week with other things. I was kind of surprised to see that. We aren't even getting those kinds of basic things happening here. So nice to see you, Crystal. Thanks so much for being with me. A lot of people want to get in, want to know what's going on. I'm glad that you're with me. Question of the day is popular because lots of you like Twister and lots of you like, of course, Operation. So luckily, I'm not that kind of doctor. Oh, gosh. I can't even open a Band-Aid for you. So let's see what we've got. Those of you who have me on in the background, if you turn me off, that will be helpful to everybody.
So luckily, I'm not that kind of doctor.
Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this table if we can.
Hi, Dr. Lori.
Hi, how are you? What's your
Hi.
name?
Good. I'm Lori from Michigan.
Hi, Lori. Where in Michigan are you? Show me the mitt. Show me where you are in the mitt.
Well, I can't hold the phone. I'm in Chesterfield. I'm about 30 miles south of Port Huron. Oops, sorry.
30 miles south of what?
Port Huron.
Oh, Port Huron. Yeah. Okay. Well, nice to see you. How about this? This is a nice piece, reproduction piece, though.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. How'd you acquire it?
Well, I got it at Goodwill. It was in pretty bad shape. I just, it had some water stains on it, and I came home and just kind of cleaned it up a little bit, and here it is.
So are you a repurposer?
No, it was just wax on it, but the watermarks were there, so I kind of just, took a little bit of that fine steel wool, just covered, took off a little bit of the wax, and it's beautiful now. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the form. Okay. The form relates back. And a lot of you ask me about furniture. Where's the dog? What happened to the dog?
Oh, I moved them.
So basically, I love the dogs. Basically, the furniture, in fact, a lot of you ask me about the furniture. That form is a form that dates back to the 1750s, to the French court of Louis XV and into Louis XVI, the time period from about the 1750s to about 1800 or so. So that's the time when French King Louis XV is on the throne until 1774, and then Louis XVI comes on the throne. And then after them, of course, after Louis XV, Louis XVI is the French Revolution, and off with their heads, and Marie Antoinette, and Little Me Cake, and all that stuff. This particular form is a form that's very typical of Louis XV into Louis XVI. So if this were not a reproduction style, if this were an actual French Rococo piece, it would date to about 1775. Okay. Having said that, the tip off that this piece is a reproduction during the Rococo revival period of the early 1900s is that brass gallery. It's that brass fretwork that goes around the sides. And what that gallery does is it allows folks to, in fact, put something on the table so it doesn't spill off the table. A gallery is used to present something or to show something, display something. And that gallery could be in wood if you had a washstand sink, for example, or a dry sink. And in this particular case, you're seeing, again, a gallery with a brass or ormolu attachments or applied ornament. Now, ormolu is a little bit different because it's gilded. Your pieces are brass, so that's different. I like, of course, the way in which the feathering happens into the top of the table. It sort of looks like chevrons, right? Or a big X in the middle of the table. And I also want you to zoom in for me if you can, Lori, and let's see if I can look at some of that marquetry work, the inlaid work. You're doing great. You're doing great. You're doing great. Perfect. So satin wood and, of course, veneers, but very, very nicely done multi-fruit wood. So when you see these colored woods, what to look for. I'm always telling you what to look for, how to tell, because that's going to help you. All these other people are just saying, oh, it's nice, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. They're not telling you what to look for. So this piece I like because you're looking at the multi-different colors of the wood. You're also seeing, of course, a cushion. You'll notice the tufted cushion on the side. If you get us a good shot right there of the side of the lead, that's what you're looking at. And Brenda wants to know, is it a bed tray? It looks small for a coffee table. How tall is it?
Oh, I don't even know. I would say, I don't know, whatever my arm is there, probably 13 inches, 14 inches.
Probably 13, 14 inches. Okay. So yeah, I mean, the dog, there you go. The dog is a very good reference point, right? So
well, he's awfully small.
That this piece is intended for you to have on a chaise lounge or when you're seated, right? Or it could be considered a bed tray. However, in the Rococo revival period, you typically don't see as many bed trays. But I would say that this is not to be used as a coffee table. It's going to be used on top of something, on top of a large sofa, on top of a large chaise lounge, or of course a bed. Now, a couple of different things about it also. I like the fact that it's pretty stable, and you did a nice job of whatever you did with getting some kind of rings off the top. You did a good job. I think it's a nice table. How much did you pay? What was it, Goodwill?
It was $30.
It was $30 for the table?
Yes.
And did you negotiate that? And was it at a thrift store?
It was at Goodwill, and I tried, but they said no.
Okay, I would always try. Don't have an argument with anybody, but I would try because some days it's, oh, we've seen that thing for 3 weeks, we're getting rid of it, and they might go down on the price. Sometimes they just can't, but I never think it's a bad idea to ask, right?
Right. Oh, yeah.
Right. Why not? Because, and maybe on that piece that they say, no, I won't negotiate, but another piece they will. It just depends. Value on that piece, $150. So you did very well at 30.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
It's really my pleasure. Hey, before you go, tell me this, based on actual sales records always, have you had a video call with me before?
I have.
All right. Is it helpful?
Absolutely.
Was it easy to book?
Absolutely.
All right. Glad to hear all of that.
Yep. I used to do Worth Point, and now I'm just doing once a month. I'll do a video call with you, and it costs me the same amount.
Well, I think that's great. I hope that's helpful. Remember, you also have direct connection with me to ask those questions, not just, oh, you're looking at old sales records. Nothing against any other things. Some people like those particular types of options. But again, sometimes it's nice to just say, hey, Dr. Lori, can you tell me what's happening in the market? You don't get that when you're just looking at lists all the time. Hey, my question of the day is the operation game. Do you remember that, of the guy? He's down there on the surgical table, right? Or Twister? Which was your favorite?
Operation. I can't do Twister.
Okay.
I might get down, but I'll never get back up.
Never get back up. I like the colors of Twister. I used to like the idea of Twister was fun. One of my elder sisters was very good at it. She's very tall and lean, and she was able to do that very well. Operation, I was lousy at too. Actually, I'm lousy at both those games. I remember. Good to see you. Thanks for being with me. And if you want to sign up for and book a video call, go to drloriv.com. It's very simple. You choose the date and time you want in my schedule. And then I'll get in touch with you on a video conferencing software like Google Duo or Facebook Messenger or FaceTime for iPhone or Skype or Zoom or, you name it. There's all kinds of them. And all of you are so good at that now, which is so cool too. I love that. So I'm glad you guys are also using the Binge Link to be able to, of course, look at all the videos so you don't have to go crazy trying to search for certain things. They organize the videos. My staff has put together the Binge Link just for you guys, and you will find it, of course, on my specials and shop page on the website, drloriv.com. There's a big red link. Click on that link, and it's to organize all of the YouTube videos, and it also shows you videos that you don't get automatically through YouTube. So the Binge Link is the way to go if you want to get that information from me. Yay, I'm so happy you guys are all here. What fun. Oh, you're very, very nice. Thank you very much. I'm happy to do as much as I can do. Now, I do have some folks who have said, Dr. Lori, I've been timing you. This cracked me up. I got a comment today and someone said, I've been timing you, and I time how many appraisals you do, and I time how quickly you do them, and I time this. And I said, you can go and time anything you want, because you know what? Time away. I'm going to talk about what I can do to teach you what to look for, how to tell, and the appraisals go from there. I love talking to all of you. Thank you for being with me. My guests are here. Yay. I think it's funny that you're timing me as if I'm going to care how fast or slow I go. I mean, I'm trying to get as much information out. That's why I've done all of these videos. So I'm glad that you've got watches and clocks that you're timing. I guess this painting is what I'm supposed to be looking at behind your head. And then I've got less of a good, right? Well, tell me about the painting.
Yes,
how did you acquire it?
I got it in, well, first of all, I'm Jenna. I'm from Talkeetna, Alaska. I got it from a lady at a garage sale. It was actually the end of the day, and we were driving by, and they were closing up, and I saw it, and I said, stop the car, and I jumped out.
How much did you pay?
For $20.
Okay, here's the first problem. Your head's in front of the painting. So it's hard for me to appraise it if your head's in front of the painting, right? So that's one of the things. Okay, well, that's a little bit better. So it's oil on canvas, and you got it for $20?
That's correct. And
is it signed?
It is. I couldn't make out the signature.
All right, I don't care about the signature.
But yes.
I know you all get annoyed at me when I say that, but we weren't
there.
trained to care about the signature. We were trained to look at the overall elements and then zoom in on the signature afterwards, because that signature isn't going to give us too much information. That piece obviously is basically Northern European, right? So Scandinavia, the Netherlands, and over. Probably came over through Russia into Alaska. Wouldn't surprise me. You said it's 30 by what?
It's 36 by 24, and I actually got it in California when we lived there.
Yeah, I would say value on that piece, 36 by 24. You're probably no more than $250 on that piece.
Okay.
Nice. For 20 bucks, that's a good investment. What I don't like about it, very, very quick attention to detail of the sky. They really got lazy in the sky. They concentrated only in the areas of sort of the thatched roof house and a little bit of the water, but the reflection of the water in the sky, they just kind of did quickly. So that tells me that they needed a little bit more work. Let's go over and look at this necklace. Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So this is Christy from New Hampshire, right?
Yes.
Thank you very much for the super chats and stickers. You know what that does? That helps support our staff so they can continue to make videos for you with me. So thank you for that. Let's see what we've got here. Let's see. I like this. So can we get a little bit closer to the links? And is it marked, Christy?
It's Monet.
So Christy, are you reselling fine jewelry as well as costume jewelry?
It was in my blue box, so yes, everything.
Okay, so you buy a blue box and then you move from there. I recall that we had a situation with a piece here that was a platinum necklace. Did you sell that necklace?
I did. $800.
That was appraised here, right?
Yep.
So there it is. Proof is in the pudding. These pieces, I appraise them and they actually sell. It's not that they're just appraised because people go, oh, the numbers are so high. Numbers are not too high for somebody who paid $800 for that piece. A beautiful platinum necklace, as I remember, that was evaluated here on the show. This Monet piece is a nice piece too.
Yeah, I like the balls.
I'm sorry, honey?
I like the balls that are inside of it.
Yeah, is it 24 inches?
It's only 14.
It's only 14 inches from end to end?
Yep. It's
Are
tiny.
you sure? Are you sure about that?
It's tiny.
It looks. It doesn't look tiny on your stand. I believe you, but it doesn't look tiny. Oh, now it looks tiny. Okay, so more of a choker. So it's going to be right. Well, for me, it's probably going to be like here, but right about here, right? Yeah, and the little balls, of course, are in sort of a cage. So each one of those cages has to be put together. Monet is very good at this continuous link idea with this continuous basic image all the way through. That piece, I would say, retail value on is the Monet marked on one of the actual links, or is it marked on the actual clasp?
It's a tag on the clasp.
The tag on the clasp. Okay. Yeah. So that puts it 1960s and 1980s, and I would say value on that piece. I like that piece a lot, about $200.
Ooh.
That's great. Very good for your blue box. I like that. And let me ask, and that's always based on actual sales records where somebody paid the bill, where somebody, paid $200 for a similar piece. I wonder again about that idea of the choker, right? The choker notion of it, that it's 14 inches. Maybe, did you count the clasp or not?
Yes.
You did? Well, that is small. That is small, but I like it. Okay. Question of the day?
Operation
game. Were you good at it? Did you have a steady hand?
No, not always. Sometimes, but no, mostly no.
The operation game is usually worth, in good condition in the original box, that game is usually worth somewhere between $25 and $35 retail, and it has to work. So, it has to actually be in working condition if you have the operation game. But I'm talking that box needs to be in good shape, no cellophane tape, no scotch tape on it, no masking tape on it either. And of course, you have to have all the pieces, the funny bone and the ankle and, and the heart and the whole thing. So good to see Christy. Thanks very much for being with me. I'm Dr. Lori. Don't forget to share the channel. Oh, Dr. Lori, I need more videos. Oh, Dr. Lori, I have this question. Fine, but share the channel so, of course, we can continue to grow. And if you have, of course, questions or comments, you can always put them at drloriv.com. I, of course, will answer those too. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. I love that all my guests are here, but I want to know the folks who are not backstage. I want to know, what do you think about the question of the day and where are you calling from? Say hi from where you are, I want to know where you are. So do you remember some of these old albums or some of the old records? I want to show you one that really made me laugh because it was so funny and so old and from a million years ago. Look at this. It's almost like we ate this thing. We played it so much as little. This one is actually mine from childhood. Can you believe how old this thing is? It's like we ate the whole piece of the cover. And this was Walt Disney's Merriest Songs from all of their movies and all of their, of course, animated features. What's fun about this is a lot of you I know are grandmothers, and this was a fun thing to share with grandkids. So I was very surprised when this was actually uncovered recently. What a mess. Anyway, I'm going to put that back in there before we make any more of a mess out of it. Fun to have some of the old vinyl. Vinyl is one of those things at a thrift store you should be picking up. So anyway, it's a lot of fun, Let's see what my guests have. And let's also remind you, of course, about the gift certificates. If you haven't had a gift certificate, that's always a good idea to throw a hint to somebody for a holiday or a birthday. You know, your gift certificates with us could be a video call with Dr. Lori. It makes a good, a good gift if you have to find a gift for somebody. And hello to Central Florida. Many of you, of course, see me every week in Central Florida, of course, on your local television stations too. So good to see all of you. Oh, let's see what we've got. Guests are coming. Here they are. All right, we've got another painting. We've got what looks to be a ring of some sort. And then I've got a jewelry set. I've got this lonely swan planter. And then there are the two ballet dancers that look like they're under glass, and they look like they have a form that really looks very 1960s. How did you Ian, let me ask you a question. Do you like the ballet dancers? This is Ian. He collects jewelry. Do you like Ian from Canada? Do you like those ballet dancers, Ian? Oh, you've got no audio on Ian. Good smile, but no audio.
There we go. Hi, sorry.
Hi, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, I love those. I would definitely hang those in downstairs in my living room, which you've seen. So, yeah.
You'd hang those someplace, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like those too. I think those are nice. I'm trying to get a sense, but there's so much glare. I'm trying to get a sense of whether or not they are actual gouaches, which is oil paint with, of course, watercolor. And I do like the frame. Can you back up a little bit? The frame is very quintessentially, I don't know what's happening here. We're getting like, oh, you're trying to tilt it so I don't see as much glare. Is that what it is?
Yes, ma'am.
What's your name, hon?
My name is Mario.
Hi, Mario. I got the ma'am, so I'm guessing that you're military.
No, just respectful.
Okay, just respectful. A lot of my friends in the military will say ma'am off the bat, so that's why. So this particular piece, how'd you acquire it?
I got it at a estate sale. It came with two other pieces, two other pieces.
How much did you pay for this one? I don't care about the other two. How much did you pay for this one?
$20.
Yeah, you probably paid, maybe a third of what it's worth. Probably worth $60. Dates to the 1960s. I like it. I think it's a gouache. I don't like that it's under glass. I think you might want to get that unframe it, get the glass cleaned, and you're going to see a lot of different coloration in that skirt and in, of course, that piece. But very typical of the exotic period in the 1960s and 70s, what we typically see of those pieces. Thanks, Mario. Nice to meet you, sir.
Have a great day.
No, you too. You have a good day. And then this piece here, I've got a set. How many pieces in this set, ma'am?
It's a necklace and the matching earrings.
Is it marked?
Yes, it's Trifari with the crown.
Can you back up a little bit?
I can.
Thank you, hon. What's your first name?
I'm Kathy from South Carolina.
Hi, Kathy. Nice to see you. So it looks like the Trifari pieces, each individual link has actually a very large crystal in it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, very nicely done.
And
I like
small ones also.
And small ones also. And then the crown Trifari mark is on the clasp, right?
Yes.
Yes. And how much did you pay for the set? Did you buy it as a set, or were you just lucky and you got two parts that were a set in different places?
They were selling them together. I picked them up for $10.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. That's a real bargain for $10. First of all, it's a late 1950s style crown Trifari piece, 1950s into the 60s. I like also those button earrings. Are the earrings clip-ons?
They're clip-ons, yeah, but they're tight.
Well, they're all tight. I've got earrings on tonight that are tight. I'm going to take these off. My earlobes are going to be very, very, very red. Yeah. Even the ones that are pierced can be tight. It depends. Sometimes and the clip-ons are tight, but you know what? You know, beauty is painful. What am I going to tell you? Right. That's how it is. But I will say that that's a real bargain, and you all have been watching my real bargain videos, I know, and you're sharing them too, and I appreciate it. Value on that $300 for the 3-piece set for $10.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, beautiful.
Score.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Nice.
You're beautiful.
Thank you.
And again, the folks who are saying, "Oh my gosh, I can't get that. Oh my gosh, that's," guess what? You guys have been proving it. You guys have been getting back to me. You guys have been proving it with, of course, right here on Ask Dr. Lori Live. You appraised the Miriam Haskell necklace. I paid $8. You appraised it for $450. I sold it on eBay for $539. There it is. Proof is in the pudding. These pieces of costume jewelry that I've been showing you how to tell, they're great. They're great. Good for you. $10. Mm-hmm. So tell me, was it at a thrift store or an estate sale?
It was at a thrift store. It was not, and it was so nice. The store has nice things, and usually they know what they have, and maybe they did, but
well, they didn't.
Didn't know enough. It didn't know enough. But thanks to you, I did. I saw it and I said, "Oh my goodness!" And at that point, I didn't even see the maker. And as soon as I saw the maker, I said, "Oh wow, this is it. This is it. I made my day."
Right, because I've been telling you, right? So in your mind, you said she's been talking about Trifari. This is it, right?
Right.
And
I have other pieces of Trifari without the crown, and I knew there was something special about that crown.
That's right. That's right. Good for you. I love it to hear that you're learning. I love it. That's great. Yeah, and now it's in your head, and now that information is yours. That information is yours, and nobody can take that from you. That's wonderful. I love that. That's teaching for you. Anyway,
yeah, I retired, and I've been watching you for, I guess, 8 months now, and I'm just so appreciating objects. You know, it's wonderful. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad. You're very, very welcome. And thank you for watching. That's what I like. Congratulations on your retirement. Question of the day, Twister or, of course, the Operation game?
I've always loved Operation. I play it with my grandkids.
Okay. Well, they're going to be happy about this, too. You wear that in good health or flip it for as much as you can. Nice to see you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I'm Dr. Lori. Thanks to all of you, and I'll see you next time.